Well, the curse continues, guys. The Toronto Maple Leafs have yet to make the second round since 2004, meaning the Tampa Bay Lightning will face the Florida Panthers in the second round. Look, before we do anything here, we get into it. I just want to show my respect towards the Toronto Maple Leafs in terms of the battling they had against the reigning champs, the Tampa Bay Lightning. This is one of their better series. Look, I know it sucks for Toronto fans since 2004, and it's been since what, the 1960s, that they haven't won a Stanley Cup. Every year it's like the same thing, and they have such a good core with Tavares, Marner, Matthews, Riley, and Nylander as well. And I think changes are going to come in terms of the Toronto Maple Leafs. But I just wanted to say, they gave us a hell of a series against the Tampa Bay Lightning, so that was fantastic. So kudos to them, and sorry to all the Toronto fans, but maybe next year, right? Anyways, guys, the topic of today is the Battle of Florida. We've seen this once before, which was last year, um, the 2021 playoffs, where Florida, you know, put up a good fight against Tampa, but lost in 6 games. The biggest issue was goaltending for Florida. Bobrovsky was not playing up to standards. They went with Spencer Knight. He played a little bit better, but it just wasn't good enough. Then this offseason, Bill Zito adds, a lot more pieces in terms of strengthening the team. And even at the deadline, they add Sherratt, they added Claude Giroux. So this is a different Florida Panthers team compared to last season. And the Bolts are also different as well. They don't have Goudreau, they don't have Coleman, they don't have Gord. And they have Belmar, Perry, Nick Paul, who scored 2 goals against Toronto in Game 7. Imagine that, depth wins in Game 7 for the Tampa Bay Lightning, not even Kucherov or Stamkos or Point. So that's fantastic. Um, so I just wanted to say, like, even though they restructured their third line in terms of Tampa Bay, like, they're still a very competitive team. And despite Belmar, Maroon, and Corey Perry being old, they're vets with playoff experience. Like, right now, Maroon could win 4 cups in a row. He won this first one with St. Louis in 2019. Then he won back to back with Tampa Bay, and now he's going for his third with Tampa Bay. So I mean, hey, that's fantastic. In terms of playoff producers, you have Kucherov. I don't know if this is updated because the game just finished not so long ago. Game 7, Tampa Bay versus Toronto. Kucherov had 8 points in 6 games. Hedman 7 in 6 games. Palat 5 in 6 games. Colton 4 in 6 games. Stamkos 4 in 6 games, and Point 4 in 6 games. Guys who underperformed, in my opinion, in this series were Braden Point and Alex Killorn. These guys are top 6 guys that are capable of doing a lot more in terms of their offense and stuff. And we've seen it all regular season long that Killorn could play those top 6 minutes when needed to, and especially with the third line being completely restructured after last year's Stanley Cup win. He was given a bigger role in terms of Tampa Bay and their offense. So I mean, just looking at this team, they had Nick Paul, had a huge Game 7 against the Toronto Maple Leafs, but before that, he had 2 points in 6 games, which is pretty impressive. You know, even Hagel as well. Brandon Hagel that they added at the deadline from Chicago, 4 points in 6 games, pretty impressive too. Sergachev was somebody that you know. I don't know if it's because they're not putting him on the top pairing yet. He's been playing second, third line pairing, but I wasn't too impressed with Sergachev in terms of this series against Toronto. A lot of mistakes, a lot of giveaways, and I know a lot of people see that Montreal lost the Drouin trade against Sergachev because Sergachev does have 2 Stanley Cups, but I think Sergachev needs to be given more playing time in order to you know uh, reach expectations in terms of the defenseman he could be. He was drafted 8 overall in his respected draft, so we'll see what happens. But also Anthony Sorelli, I'm surprised. Uh, only 1 point. in 6 games. I just want to see in terms of their offense um in game 7. I know Paul got 2 goals, so he has 4 points in 7 games. Yeah, So basically, the points I just said, instead of 6 games, it's all in 7 games. Just add an extra game because Nick Paul got 2 goals. One of the goals were unassisted. The other one was assisted by. And look, we could all agree that Vasilevsky did not have the best series. He was kind of shaky at times. I know everyone has this stigma where like Russians don't perform in the playoffs, but there's one Russian goalie that does always play on his A game, and that's Vasilevsky. He has 2 Stanley Cups, and I think I would say he's a top 5 Russian goalie of all time. I wouldn't say he's number 1 yet, but he still has a long way, and I think he's slowly climbing up that ladder. And I think he could be the best Russian goaltender of all time. But we'll see. He has 2 Stanley Cups. You make that 3 this year. Um, Look, and now in terms of Florida, Carter Verhaeghe. Holy crap, this guy was impressive. This guy blew the hockey world. 12 points in 6 games against the Washington Capitals, 6 goals and 6 assists, and he scored the winning goal in overtime against the Capitals. So this guy's playing big time hockey. This is a guy that played with the Tampa Bay Lightning. It shows how, great they are at developing players. He was let go, he was signed with Florida, and ever since he joined Florida, this guy keeps on getting better and better and better. Um, you know, Claude Giroux as well, 7 points in 6 games, a trade deadline acquisition. We already knew Claude Giroux was I think he was above a point per game player since he joined the Florida Panthers in the regular season. But, for him to play this type of hockey at this age, this is the perfect fit. He's surrounded by speed and skill. And a guy his age, a veteran like this, who has playoff experience prior to Florida's run right now with the Philadelphia Flyers, he's a leader in the locker room too. He knows what it takes. He knows what he has to do in order to win a Stanley Cup. He's been to the finals, even though they lost back in 2010 against the Chicago Blackhawks, but he knows what it takes. Aaron Ekblad comes back in the series. 5 games and 6 points. Impressive. Sam Reinhart, 3 and 6 games. Huberto, 3 and 6 games. You know, um, Look, it's okay because the team as a whole played very well, but they're gonna need a lot more from Huberto in order to beat the Tampa Bay Lightning. The Tampa Bay Lightning are not a team to mess around with, and they lost against Tampa Bay last series. And look, I have a picture for you guys displayed right now. Right now, that literally is the definition of what to expect in this series between Florida and Tampa Bay. It's going to be aggressive. It was aggressive last series last year. Expect round 2 this year to be even more deadlier. These guys are competing for the best team in Florida. Bill Zito has been for the last 2 seasons or 3 years. I don't know. I think he joined 2 or 3 years ago. He's been making Florida better and better and better. And they have so much depth. You have Hornquist, who's playing third to fourth line minutes. You have Anthony Duclair, who they added not so long ago. Uyghur's playing fantastic ever since he was given top line minutes. They acquired Sam Bennett as well last year. Gudas playing solid the defensive hockey, but underrated guys like Montour and Forsling on defense. They even they have Lundell, the rookie, and Marchment as well. Lumberg, like so many like players that could contribute to their success. But again, can they defeat the reigning champions, the Tampa Bay Lightning? And we're gonna answer some questions in the chat here. As a Panthers fan, I have mad respect for the Bolts. I ain't missing this series for the world, and you shouldn't. And right now we have the Colorado Avalanche versus St. Louis, which is a rematch from last year. St. Louis got eliminated in 4 games versus Colorado, so they have this thing in mind that they want to win, they want revenge. And you also have Florida who wants revenge with Tampa Bay. So, and we're all hoping that um, Edmonton makes it to the next round and Calgary, so we get the Battle of Alberta. So there's going to be a lot of crazy battles. This could potentially be the most entertaining round 2 in 15 to 20 years, in my opinion. I think it's going to be fantastic if that happens because the fans want it. So let's hope that it happens. Next question. So David, so Panthers in five. I would say that's a little bit of a stretch, to be honest. 5 games. I don't think Tampa's gonna let that slide. Again, Tampa didn't play their best in this series against Toronto, but they did win. They found a way to win. Whether if it was from their top six or their bottom six, they still found a way. They still beat the Toronto Maple Leafs, who I think had a better series than Tampa Bay. They were the better team, but unfortunately, Tampa knew how to close. Toronto didn't. So, guys, I want to hear your predictions in the comment section below. Who do you think is going to win this series? I'm going to say, and I know people are going to think I'm crazy. Um, I think that Florida could potentially win this in 6 games. And here's why. Florida's team is not like last year's. They are stacked from first line all the way to fourth line. Their defense on paper does not look like the best, but they're very solid defensively and offensively. When you have Ekblad and Mackenzie Weegar on your first D pairing, that's very dangerous, in my opinion. And having Bobrovsky playing a much better season and playoffs than he did last year, I mean, I'm expecting a lot better results in terms of Florida. And then you have, Tampa Bay who struggled against Toronto. And, in my opinion, like on paper, Toronto wasn't the best team, but like their depth was a lot better this year than last year, and it showed a lot. It showed a lot that they really, really improved. And I honestly feel sorry for them because they kind of deserve to win the series. But again, Tampa has that championship pedigree. They know what it takes to win. They have the playoff experience. They know what it takes to win. So now you have Florida who beat um, a Stanley Cup champion, a past Stanley Cup champion in the Washington Capitals, a team with championship pedigree, playoff experience, and they have great players like Alexander Ovechkin and Nicholas Backstrom and TG Oshie. So now they're on a high. This is the first time they won a playoff round since 1996. Okay, guys, that's fantastic for them. And just to give you a clear idea of the matchup in terms of the regular season between Tampa Bay and Florida, I know you guys are going to be like, but why are you making this comparison? It's the regular season, it's a different situation compared to playoffs. I'm just telling you guys, just for the people that are interested. So, Florida was 2-1-1 against Tampa, and Tampa was 2-2-0 versus Florida. So, like again, I could be totally wrong. Maybe the champs come back and they take this to 7 games, 6 games, 5 games, whatever it is. But I mean, I'm very confident in Florida this year. I'm very, very confident because of the team that Bill Zito constructed. They're so talented offensively. It's ridiculous. And even if Bobrovsky doesn't play the best, they have Spencer the Knight as a backup goalie, which I think he's very good, even though he hasn't played in a while. I think he can still do some damage. Um, yeah, 26 years, guys, since Florida won a playoff game. I mean, a playoff series. Sorry. What else can I really say? To be honest, well, we all know that Drake bet $400,000 for the Leafs and Tampa series to go to Game 7. Unfortunately, for Drake, his hometown team did not come up on top. They lost. Um, Oh, okay. So let's answer another question from David here. Panthers are too good, especially if Point doesn't play. Yeah, I think Point actually got injured in game 7, if I'm mistaken. I don't know if he ended up coming back or maybe he was sidelined and he's day to day or he's going to be reevaluated. We're going to see what happens. But guys, I just want to hear your thoughts. Who do you think is going to be the MVP in this series between Florida and Tampa Bay, the Battle of Florida? Who do you think is going to come up on top? And what do you think is going to be the factor essentially that helps either of these teams win this series? Is it going to be goaltending? Is it going to be defense? Or is it going to be offense? And honestly, you know, it's going to be a hell of a battle. And I can't and it's not only going to be offensively good, but it's also going to be physically good. Like I just can't stress how much excitement I have for this series. It's just like I don't know. I was really hoping for this to happen. As much as I'm Canadian and I was rooting for all the Canadian teams to win, so Toronto, Calgary, and Edmonton, deep down I wanted to see a rivalry series, which was going to be the Battle of Florida. And, both these teams have been on different paths in terms of getting to where they are right now. You have two a back-to-back championship team, and then you have Florida, who, wasn't very good for many years, missed the playoffs for many years, and now they made the playoffs last year and this year, and they're getting better and better and better over time. And that's a huge factor because of Bill Zito, their GM, who is willing to do whatever it takes to make this team the best team in Florida. And I'm not going to say they're going to win two back-to-back Stanley Cups. You're going to win so many Stanley Cups, more than Tampa Bay. But if they could win a Stanley Cup this year, which I think this is the best time to win the Stanley Cup because of how much depth they have in terms of offense, defense, and goaltending, I think they have what it takes. And also, it's something we didn't mention last video, Joe Thornton. You know, poor guy did not go far last year with Toronto. They got eliminated in the first round. He's in the second round with Florida. So we would like to see him win a Stanley Cup. Also, we want to see Claude Giroux win a Stanley Cup as well. Two guys who are veterans, two guys who clearly deserve to win a Stanley Cup. They won a lot of awards in their lives. In their career, sorry, they represented Canada on multiple occasions. Won gold. Um, so it would be nice for them to lift the Stanley Cup together, And I know a lot of Philadelphia fans are really cheering for Claude Giroux to win a Stanley Cup, hoping that he gets his cup, comes back to Philly. So we'll see if that happens. And Joe Thornton finally gets that Stanley Cup so he could finally sleep well at night and call it a career and not having to force himself to come back every year just to get that Stanley Cup on his resume. So I just want to say thank you so much, guys, for watching this video. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. I know I was rocking solo today, but I hope you guys enjoyed what I had to share, what I had to say. So again, guys, just to clarify, my prediction: Florida wins in 6 games. So we'll see if that sticks. I could be wrong, but I have a strong feeling that Florida takes this series and they get their revenge and they move to the third round, the Eastern Conference Finals. So we'll still see you on the next matchup video. We're awaiting the winner of the Pittsburgh Penguins and the New York Rangers, who are going to face the Hurricanes the next round. The Bruins have been eliminated, and we're waiting for the Dallas Stars and Calgary Flames matchup to be finished. So we know who faces the winner of Edmonton and LA. So I just wanted to say thank you so much, guys, and we'll see you in the next episode.